All right. Yeah. I went ahead and ate some food and I went out for a walk and I decided, I think I actually do want to I do want to go ahead and keep up this attempt for today. Yeah, cuz I've been having a lot of fun with it and I think there's no reason not to. So, one thing I do want to figure out is why the music is not coming through. Let's see. There we go. That should be doing it. All right, and one thing that wasn't working last time was, oh hey Maya, good to see you. Yeah, I'm not sure if you caught the beginning explanation, and I'm trying to figure out how you're supposed to change the orientation of this so that it's not. Let's reset them. Yeah, let's reset them. Okay. No, don't do that. Ah, no. Go away. Okay. Chat. Oh, that's annoying. um, can I put you down there? No? Oh, man. This is not going the way I wanted it to. Okay, let's get you like that, I guess. And I would love... I'm trying to set up chat so that I can easily see it just on the right side of my screen. But it's not wanting to cooperate, really. Okay. That might be the best that I get at this point. Can I do that? There we go. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so just to get started where I was explaining earlier, yeah, I left off at the end of stream earlier because um oh shoot. I was grinding for berry 2 and I couldn't focus. I hadn't eaten yet today and I just, you know, I think I'd been like so tunnel vision and I was getting a little bit down on myself for not um for catching that deli bird on Route 201, since that's technically a second encounter where you get your starter. And I was kind of kicking myself over that, but I decided, not to let it get to me too much. And so we're back. Yeah, and I hope this shows in the description. I'm checking right now actually, and yeah. So today I'm planning on just, or at least in this stream, we've already done quite a bit today. But yeah, in this stream I'm planning on grinding up. Let's go ahead and get started. Um yeah, I'm planning on grinding. Hello? Okay, there we go. But yeah, if you take a look at our team... Okay, what is happening here? I'm pretty confused. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and play like this. Last time I was able to play in OBS, but this time it's making me stick to the emulator. So yeah, we're going to focus on training up these two this episode, trying to get these two up to level 13, as well as Fancy Feast and Mikey. Well, actually, Braun is going to go up to level 16, but these other three are going to go up to level 13. And the reason Braun needs to get to level 16 is because when they evolve into Wormadam, they become a steel type if they are wearing the trash cloak. And that is pivotal to our plan for taking on Barry. Yeah, this team is basically what I came up with to take on this second battle against Barry. And yeah, that's the long and short of it. Let's go ahead and get right to it. So yeah, just focusing on grinding. I might even turn the animations off, just so this goes a little bit more quickly. Yeah, I'm not gonna battle this with my Psyduck. That's not a fair matchup. Alright. But yeah, I went on a little walk after finishing my lunch for today, and it was nice. It was pretty peaceful out. The oh ah what a okay, I mean that's one way to get started. I've got to rewatch that because could I have even seen that coming? So yeah, the acid did 7, and then Vine Whip did 7. Wow, yeah. I I had no reason to suspect that that was going to do that much damage. Oh, that's brutal. I was really counting on having access to Copycat. Okay, well, back to the drawing board. We're not gonna let that get to us. Okay, let's check out Braun. Yeah, poison isn't super effective against bug. We're chilling. Okay, this Bellsprout needs to chill out. Come on. That's so annoying. But, ugh. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna let that one get to me too much because like there was literally no way I could have known that that was going to happen. I mean, 7. It was consistently doing 7 damage, and for it to ramp up to 18, yeah, that just I think that was a max roll crit. or pretty darn close to it, just based on the damage rolls that it was generating. I mean, I guess we bring Pringles. You know, no, actually, I think we need to bring... Ugh, this is so frustrating. It's doing so well, too. That's... I'm not gonna... I can't let it get to me too much. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to be grinding for hours at this rate. I wonder, is there, like... Oh well. I was hoping that I could find speed up, but yeah, I can't seem to find that anywhere. But yeah. Okay, well. We've got a long grinding session ahead of us. But, you know, that's Pokemon for you. I tried looking it up to see if there were any other rare candies or anything, and I couldn't find like a solid answer, but as far as I can tell, there aren't. Okay, and we're not messing around, we're just switching right into Amazon. I mean, Fancy Feast was pretty decently high level too. I mean, that one, like, the Pidgey earlier in the first stream didn't get to me too much because I just didn't know that Bide was a one-turn move. But, I mean, losing Pokemon to grinding is just really annoying. Like, typically I can laugh it off, but that one in particular was just, like, come on. I probably could have gone into Brawn against this Ruby, but it's just ingrained into me to not use the weaker Pokemon. I will go ahead and switch into Brawn this time, just to speed up the training a little bit. I do have to figure out how to change this Burmese cloak, because we need them to be in a trash cloak before we evolve them. Well, I'm okay actually keeping Burmy in this time, because we're going to heal enough to, yeah, definitely keep us out of range. No, no, no. Stop. Okay. Oh, I did unmute, right? Okay. Yeah, it was another ad. Just wanted to spare all your ears. All right. I'm pretty sure that Chikorita should give pretty good experience, just since they're a starter. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they should. We'll see. Yeah, not quite as much experience as I would have liked, but we'll take what we can get. Alright, C-Dot. Oh man, okay, I'm actually going to check. Trainer docs. Level up learn sets. C-Dot. Gets self-destruct at level 13. That's not what I was checking for, actually. I was checking for Bide, but it looks like I'm safe. Okay. No, we do not want battle this. All right. We're just leech life and back and forth. But I think that should bring me back up to full. Just shy. All right. You know, maybe this grinding session won't take that long. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Ugh, I don't want to play around with these things. I mean, that crit Vine Whip, I'm gonna have to get over that. It just came out of nowhere. I guess they were level 9, you know, I shouldn't have been playing so fast and loose. But you know, now I know for next time. Alright, Sunkern. I still think Happy is probably not quite strong enough to take on the level wild Pokemon at the same level as them, but yeah, the grinding session is well underway. I'm expecting it'll take about an hour, which is good. I think I'm probably going to want to start making dinner right around then. We'll see. I want to try to get another walk in tonight, too. I was slacking the last couple days. So, yeah, I think it would be good to make up for that. Oh, I don't think I have any full heals. This is a little... A little scary, actually. Okay, yeah, I think this is the right move, and yeah, so we should get back up to full 26. I can't remember if your Pokemon can faint in the overworld from poison in Gen 4. I've I've been playing a lot of Gen 3 lately. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I mean 21. That was I guess only 20, but that was closer than I would have liked. Let's go ahead and stock up on some full heals, if we can. That was scary. All right. Do you have full heals for me? I have antidotes. That's the same thing. I'm just stocking all up. Because why not, you know? Yeah, no, I don't need any of that. All right. Back to it. Alright, a Budew. This one I actually will go ahead and let Happy take on. I think Psybeam should be enough to take this thing out. Oh, no. Okay, well, I'm glad we bought all those antidotes. Yeah, I'm definitely switching now because, yeah, I don't want them to get like a crit Mega Drain, and also I don't think I will let Happy take on another Budew. I thought we'd be safe with Psybeam, but yeah, apparently not. I don't know if I've actually uploaded Happy and Braun into the calculator yet, so I haven't seen like their IVs or anything. I won't use a potion. Well, this one only has Leech Life, so I think I will let Happy go for it. Oh, that did... Yeah, that did more than enough. Let's go ahead and switch. Alright. What are we looking at here? That is too much. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the potions instead of running back to the Pokemon Center, because we don't want to be here for too long. Alright. Yeah, so I'm thinking in the next like month or so, I've got a I've got a wedding that I'm headed to on the 11th. And I think after that I'm going to really lock in on the paintings again. But yeah, I want once I feel like I have a good schedule, a good rhythm again with the painting and just, um my content schedule in general, I'm going to start uploading a series that I've been working on. I know I've been working on another series. I like disappeared for forever and it's like, where'd he go? But don't worry, I haven't been doing nothing. I've just not been doing anything uh publicly, Just I don't want to say I got burned out because I think that's a little disingenuous and like it feels like a cop out for me. Because I I don't think I was burned out so much as I just didn't feel like it. Like because I still really enjoy painting and I have been doing it occasionally, just not the same schedule. Um it was a lot easier to convince myself to do it when I allowed myself to stay up all night, but I'm trying to sleep more like a normal person and just focus more on my health because I it's important and it's been great. I like I said, I've been going out on walks like a lot. Um like there's this loop that I've been taking and it's about a 3 mile walk altogether, but I do that first thing every morning. Um and like it comes out to pretty much a 5K like by the end of it. Like 3.1 to 3.3 miles, and depending on, just like little quirks and how I walk it. But I um like right at the end of it there's this really steep hill and it's super easy going down, and then coming back up it's I really like it because when I was growing up my family would go to this summer camp and it was a really hilly area. I mean really intense hills, and because of that, hills have never really given me much issue. um but yeah, I been really enjoying those walks. I forgot how much I loved walking for a little bit there, and I'm glad that I have, tuned back into that side of myself. Have to keep switching back and forth whenever I want to mute and unmute. I will go ahead and take on this Hoppip. I know that Hoppip can't really do much in this game. And Absorb is a dark type move if I'm remembering correctly, so that shouldn't... yeah, that won't do too much of anything. Going for Headbutt in the hopes that I maybe get a flinch off so they don't, you know, keep hitting me with Absorb. We'll see if it pays off, but I'm not stressing. Yeah, there we go. Can't remember if Headbutt's a 30% or a 20% chance to flinch. But I'd say the math paid off either way. Alright, Badu we will go ahead and switch for, though. Ooh, and I want to go ahead and heal Happy right after this battle, just to play it safe. I feel bad because I know I said that Amazon was... well, not just Amazon, but I know I said I only wanted to get everyone up to level 13, but I mean, I can't really use anyone else against these grass types except, you know, Kricketune, and they were already level 14, so I mean, not a whole lot I can do in terms of the experience dumping. Okay. Let's throw a potion at you and an antidote. All right. You know, we're creeping up there. I am thinking, unfortunately, about Richie. They're only level 5 at the moment, so that'll be a bit of a struggle. And I think I want to go back to one of the earlier routes because well, maybe we can... actually, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think we're going to use Brawn to help train Happy up to level 13, and then I doubt that Brawn will get all the way up to level 16 by the time Richie at least gets to level 10 or 11. So I think that should do the trick. Let's see, yeah. All right. I feel like there's not a whole lot to say at this point, you know? I mean, it's a grinding session. What I'd like to do for grinding sessions, like pre-recorded grinding sessions, is like speed them up, maybe like 15 times speed, and just have like a 5 or 10 minute Q&A, you know? I mean, because you know, like I always harken back to Maryland, like his Emerald and Heart Gold, well, Emerald Nuzlocke and Heart Gold Wedlock, and you know, that's what he would do for his grinding sessions, was he'd reserve them for little Q&A specials so that, you know, you could see everything that was going on, but, you know, you didn't have to sit there for hours and hours during all this grinding. Because, you know, let's face it, who wants that? But, you know, someone's got to do the grinding, right? But yeah. All right. Happy can at least take on these Hoppip, so I'm fortunate. Well, I count myself fortunate for that. Nice, double flinch. Okay. One thing I also didn't notice is that it seems Braun and Happy are both female, and that's really nice because our entire team prior to the two of them joining was male, and it makes like attract and cute charm just a little bit more difficult to deal with. I don't know if it's the rule in Kaizo games, or at least this one in particular, but I know that in mainline Pokemon games, Pokemon that use attract and have cute charm on NPCs teams anyway tend to be female. So having female Pokemon that can switch into those and take care of them, you know, without having to deal with that is really helpful. Yeah, these C-Dot don't scare me, even though they they could sometimes do quite a bit of damage because, yeah, I do a lot of damage to them, and I am fairly confident I'm faster than all of them. You know, I hope I don't end up eating Crow for that one, but I think I'm fine. Yeah. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to risk that one. Actually, let's go ahead and heal up. Yeah, there we go. There, yeah. Just in time. think we do gotta head back to the Pokemon Center pretty soon here, just because we're running fairly low on power points. You have to figure out how to change Burmese cloak. I'm gonna go ahead and Google that now just to make sure I didn't mess that up. Oh, okay. Um, okay, so I think what I need to do is head over to the trainer school and battle some of the, or one of the, trainers in there, because they've got pretty, like they have just level 1 Pokemon. So, Burmy can, get out there, take them out, and that should change them to a Trash Cloak, if I'm understanding correctly. Right. I guess we're coming up on an hour here. Oh, Cacnea. That's a pretty darn good encounter too. Not as good as Wormadam, I don't think, but pretty good in this game. They get Sand Veil, and you can get some cheese yourself against Roark with the permanent sand that gets set up in his gym battle. Typically you're dealing with it against his Gibble, but yeah, Cacnea can get up to some shenanigans. Oh man, this is slow going. Right, 17 and 333. Okay, well, like one more level left for Psyduck. Um, I'm gonna try to take out this Seedot with Happy, because I know we just ran out of Leech Lives with... Oh, nice, and we got a crit. Turning the music back on, so I missed that. Alright. How far are you in terms of actual experience points? 391. That's not terrible. 391 and 333. All right. Almost tempted to take Happy into the Ravaged Path, but you know, I think I like the rhythm that we've got going. Yeah, I hmm. You know, just because I'm actually a little bit concerned about how I'm going to be training Mikey, I think I will go ahead and do that because something tells me I might actually have to depend on Braun to help train Mikey because this looks like the best training location, these grass types. I guess, I mean, Mikey might be able to do a little bit of work in here. Oh man, yeah, Rhyhorn is a little scary, but with a Pokemon like Psyduck, 5 level advantage and 4 times super effective water gun, it's not too much to worry about. Yeah. Oh, especially with a crit. Nice, and that's juicy experience. Yeah, this is what I have been waiting for Psyduck to be able to come in here and just, I mean, really do some work. See, I know we're timid, but I bet we can get the 2-hit knockout against this Psyduck. Oh yeah, maybe just barely. Let's see. Nice. I don't actually know how Aeron's special defense is. I think it's... I mean, it must be lower than their physical defense, but yeah, I was fairly confident that would get the clean Oko, but I wasn't 100% sure. And just like that, it looks like Happy is now up to the level that we were aiming for. And we might end up training just a little bit more if it looks like that would be more helpful for this berry fight that we're preparing for. But, for right now, I think that is good. And let's go ahead and... Well, how close are you to level 13? You're pretty darn close. It should only be 3 battles, honestly. Pretty much any 3 Pokemon should level you up. And, I thought we might be a little bit closer to the hour mark by now, but looks like about 10 minutes off. Just thought I'd remind y'all to stay hydrated. That's Pokemon number 2. Oh yeah, we almost got that in 2 Pokemon. Alright. Ooh, Rock Throw. That's really nice. Yeah, I like to see that. Okay, well now we've got... I'm gonna go ahead and put you up front, just so we can run away from everything. Okay, but we're gonna get out there, and I think... Yeah, I think we're safe to switch train Richie back in this grass that we were training Happy in. And yeah, Richie's just... We're gonna try to get Richie up to level 13. Before Braun gets to level... Oh, yeah, we want to be careful and make sure... Yeah, we've got to be really careful with how we train Braun. I think once we get to level 14, we want to go ahead and bring them to the trainer just to see if it takes literally 1 battle to change the cloak, or if it's like on level up, or just to make sure I know exactly how that works. Oh, wrong button. You know what? We'll take care of that later. Alright. We've got to be really careful not to battle any of these Pokemon with Richie. Happy was at least, you know, the same level, or close enough, so that, you know, they couldn't just one-shot them. But I'm pretty sure Richie would go down to 1 hit. Hey, if you're just tuning in, good to see you. We are doing a bit of a grinding session in preparation for Berry 2. This is my first ever attempt at Platinum Kaizo. Yeah, it's technically not valid because I didn't realize that your starter was your Route 201 encounter, so I did end up catching a Delibird there, unfortunately. But, you know, I decided to let the run play out because I just thought it would be a good idea to just learn as much as I can about the game. And, you know, I'm having quite a lot of fun with it too, so... Yeah, right now we're focusing on getting up our Meowth to level 13, just to be even with the rest of the team. That Leech Life did a little bit more damage than I would have liked. Okay, I know I'm being a little bit paranoid, but I am gonna go ahead and switch because I just lost a Glameow at the beginning of this training session to a crit Vine Whip that did way more damage than I was expecting. And yeah, I was very disappointed about that. But yeah, this is the Delibird in question. I just didn't realize that I wasn't allowed to catch them. And, you know, I think I probably... I think the run probably would have ended if I hadn't caught the Delibird. So, you know, it was invalid regardless, but, you know. All right. Nearing the end of this grinding session. I said at the beginning that I thought it would take about an hour, but we're pretty darn close to an hour, and Richie's still only level 5. So I think it'll probably be closer to an hour and a half or 2 hours. We'll see, but I'm not stressing. I did not mean to use present there, but that's fine. Just gotta use an antidote really quick. And we are back to it. Okay, yeah. See, that is why we switched out when it was doing so little damage. I mean, because sometimes they do a lot more than you're expecting on those critical hits. I mean, yeah, I'm really glad I was fully healed, because I mean these wild Burmy are just, they are not messing around. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 potions on Braun, because I know they're only minus 22, but I mean, every hit point matters in a Nuzlocke. And, what the heck, we'll throw one at Amazon too. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we should focus on using Braun as much as possible, because I don't want anyone else to get too high leveled. Plus, I think Nature Power should... No, that's even worse. Okay. Alright. Yeah, Oddish is kind of just annoying to deal with. I think I might just run from them in the future, to be completely honest. Uh, yeah, this training is pretty slow going. Like, I'm tempted to switch back to the cave, but yeah, I don't know. I'll stay out here for now, because come on. I almost wish that Meowth were runaway. so that, you know, we could run away from these wild Pokemon reliably, but you know, Limber is definitely the better ability for what we are doing here today. No, no, come on. I do have to figure out where you get the experience share because, well, there's no chance I have it, right? I know you get it kind of early in this game, but I'm not sure exactly when. Toxic and hidden power. Oh, you just start with that Berry. Okay. Okay, just the journal and the town map. Right, a Budew. Budew is slightly better than Oddish to deal with. Not by much, but Oddish just has a little bit more offensive presence than Budew. Yeah, I wish we had secret power instead of nature power, but we'll work with it. All right. Yeah. So let's use an antidote. No. Come on. There's just like the slightest delay. So I hit right trigger, I guess, the right key, and it just lags ever so slightly. Like I don't know if I just have to hold it a little bit longer than I think I do, or yeah, I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it's annoying. Okay, Bulbasaur is a little bit more troublesome than I thought. But nothing really to worry about, thankfully. I was hoping that the starters gave a little bit more experience, but, you know, as you'll see, I think it's only about 40, yeah. Man, this is taking a lot longer. I mean, this... Okay, you know what? I'm actually switching right to Amazon because I just don't want to play games with Bellsprout. Yeah, I mean, they were going for acid, so I just don't want to play with that. Yeah, I mean, I think once Richie gets to level 10, they should be able to do something against these wild Pokemon, but until then, they're kind of, you know, dependent on the rest of the team. Um, I'm not confident I'm faster, actually. That's really unfortunate. I wish I'd been more mindful of that. But yeah, I think a crit could have actually taken us out right there. Nope, not what we wanted to do. All right. Yeah, you've still got absorb, so we can't act like you're not a threat whatsoever, unfortunately. Oh, and you've got Gust. Okay. I don't think I want to play with you at all. Yeah, we were in crit range, actually. Wow. I'm really glad that didn't happen. But, fiction, right? Jeez. Yeah, I think Hoppip only show up at night, so during most of this training, I just didn't have to deal with that. But that was a lot closer than I really thought it could have been. All right. Potion you up. And get right back to it. Okay, you were faster. I just I don't know what's Yeah, and I just watched the replay. We were totally in crit range there. Uh I don't know. I don't know what's happening to my mental. I feel fine and ready to play, but I I I don't know. I am going to go ahead and finish off this grinding session because I really don't want to have to, do this again. Um, sit down and just grind for hours and hours and hours, but this yeah, it's taken a lot more out of me than I thought it would. But I guess at the rate we're going, we'll be done after um like 2.5 hours probably. That's so annoying, but yeah, that's That's the rate it's looking at. Maybe we can head back to an earlier route and maybe Richie can level up a little bit faster, but I just don't know. All right, and we know that 29 is a safe distance to go. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. Did they both level up at the same time? No. Are you still... No. You just leveled up to 7. Oh my gosh. This is Pokemon. I wish... I don't know. I don't know if it's because, like, I had to train a few more Pokemon than I was expecting because the Pidgey fainted so early on, and then, you know, Fancy Feast on top of that. And then on top of all of that, the Delibird that we weren't actually supposed to have, that we dedicated so many so many rare candies to, I don't know. I feel like the grinding should not be going as slow as it is. But yeah, all we got to do is get past Berry 2, and then we get to Orberg basically immediately from there. You know, I know there are battles in the way, but I'm not really worried about them. Okay. Oh, yeah. Meowth has exactly half the amount of experience to level up as Burmy does. All right. Yeah, you know, I'm starting to understand taking the rare candy pill for these hardcore Nuzlocks because it's just it's grueling in this early game. I mean, like I guess it's just like the smallest of hurdles, but like I don't know. I was expecting to progress pretty quickly at the beginning stages of this game, and this is taking a lot longer than I was expecting. And we gotta switch out there because I've seen critical hits do way more damage than we can take at that range. You know, you see that 3 damage on Delibird and you think, that's nothing to worry about. But I mean, we just took 22 damage on Burmy from a critical hit Leech Life. I mean, it's no joke. All right. Go ahead and heal up Brawn. Nope. There's that lag. All right.
Smartwater knows that everything's asking for your attention and focuses.
Okay. Nope. Don't do that. At this point, I think Richie is safe to take a hit that's non-crit, probably. But, you know, it would be pretty close. And I don't want to risk that. Yeah, I mean, if we don't get to at least 23 here, I think we gotta, I think we're fine. Yeah. I I know I'm being paranoid, but I'd rather be paranoid than lose like the best Pokemon we have at this stage of the game. Like realistically speaking, we like I don't think any Pokemon is as important for this next battle as Braun is because there's just no contending with that Slackoth safely without having a steel type. Yeah. All right. I don't know if that's stab yet. Okay. um 19. I choose to believe you can't crit and that we're not speed tied. Yeah. Yeah, we're chilling. 365. All right. Oh man. I mean, it would be nice if Richie could do something on their own, but uh, these Pokemon are just too strong. Okay. Well, I think we don't have anything to worry about with this Burmy at least. So what's been going on in my world? I had been streaming a little bit of some Lego sets that I had been building for a little bit there. I've got one of them staring at me right now, and I would say I'm about 45% done, right around there. It's like a 9,000 piece set, the Lego Death Star that released late last year. And I I went crazy on it when I first got it, and then I can't remember what happened, but something like caused me to just stop giving it energy. And yeah, okay, well, we weren't in crit range at least. um but yeah, I stopped briefly, and then like a month and a half ago, somewhere around there, I started it up again, and I was going crazy on it. But I only got like a little bit further along, and then I realized that a piece was missing. So I had to go and get that replacement piece, and it took a little while to get the motivation to do that because, lazy. Um but I got the replacement piece after like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, and then never I never used it. So it's just staring at me like, come on, buddy, when are we doing this thing? So I've got that like for, almost halfway done, and then I've got the Pokemon Lego sets that released earlier this year. Not the set of mini ones, but the three initial ones. Well, I guess five initial ones. Um, the three starters, Pikachu, Eevee, and well, the three fully evolved starters, Pikachu, Eevee, um, then the Pokemon Center, and the badge set, the Kanto region badge set. And the only one that I've opened and done anything with so far is the the three fully evolved starters, and I've got like two bags left to finish Venusaur. So I mean, I'd say I'm about a third of the way done with the very first set. But that is the biggest set for the Pokemon um sets that released earlier this year. Um, yeah, I don't know how many pieces total are in the Pokemon set. The starters. Um, I could check really quick. I don't feel like it, but um, I'm about a third of the way done, and that's it's pretty fun. Legos are pretty meditative, honestly. You just kind of get in the flow state with them after a little bit, and yeah, they're super fun. But yeah, I um haven't done anything with them for about a month now. I've got to change that pretty soon here. Um but yeah, Legos, they're fun. Yeah, aside from that, I yeah, I started up painting a little bit again. Not quite as intense as I was back in the, you know, towards the end of last year and beginning of this year, but we're slowly knocking out Gen 2, and yeah, they're looking great. I'm about I've got one of the babies left, at least the first set of babies. Pikachu, Cleffa. Oh, I don't think I painted Igglybuff, so I guess they must be a little bit further along in the Gen 2 Pokédex. But yeah, next I've got is Togepi and Togetic. And then I can't remember who comes after Togetic in the Gen 2 Pokedex. But, you know, I've been looking forward to painting those two. Togepi and Togetic are like staples on any like Johto journey that I go on. Just, you know, you get the egg for Togepi so early in the game in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Admittedly, I've only ever played Crystal once, and I've never played Gold or Silver. And going back to that Crystal run, I only ever did it as like an attempt at a speed run. So you know, um it wasn't like a comprehensive playthrough by any means. I So that is to say I can't remember confidently whether um you get the Togepi egg in that game. I feel like it would be weird if you didn't get that egg, but you know, weirder things have happened. Pokemon is funny like that. Alright, let's go ahead and throw a potion at Braun. Yeah. We are getting closer and closer to this grinding session being over. I'm so excited to move on and like actually calc for Barry too. No, well, yeah, I guess we probably shouldn't train Braun in that cave. It would be really nice to be able to, but um I know that nature power turns into seed bomb out here in the grass, but I bet it turns into like earthquake or something in the cave. And I yeah, I'm not confident that I can take out the like Rhyhorn, and I think like Sandshrew we'd be fine against, but Aeron would be a bit of a struggle too. And yeah, I don't want to risk any of that. But yeah, Braun is at level 13. So at least caught up with the rest of the team. Let's go ahead and throw an antidote and a potion at them. I know 3 hit points, but these critical hits go crazy. Oh, I wonder where I got that full heal. That's strange. I don't remember picking that up. Alright. Yeah, so what else has been going on in my life? I've been I mentioned it, I think, in the earlier stream. Like I split the stream up into 2 parts. I was just so gosh darn hungry by the end of the last one, and I went ahead and ate, and then I went for a walk. But you know, like it's 5 p.m. Why haven't you eaten yet today? I have been doing some intermittent fasting. So normally I don't eat until like 2:30 or 3, sometimes even closer to 4. So I don't really get super hungry until later in the day anyway. And yeah, so I've been on a bit of a calorie restriction, just focusing on hitting like a deficit. Um just to, you know, try and lose some weight. I've been getting a little bit too complacent with that over the last couple years, and um I've been making a lot of great progress this month. It's felt really nice. Like the pounds are kind of flying off, and it's hard work really pays off. And that ties back into just how I think that was the greatest thing that the painting gave me, is just learning. You hear it all the time that like consistency and hard work pays off. You stick to something and you just do it every single day, and eventually you'll start to see the benefits. Like you will get better at it. And like that's what I learned with painting is like I started off not knowing how to do it at all. And you can look back at like my Charmander painting and oh, I don't know. Trying to think of another one back then that was just really sad. Um I mean the Charmander is just the one that comes to mind in particular. But I mean you look at the Charmander and then you look at like I don't know, for Alligator, which I just did. Like I didn't realize I had the music turned off that entire time. I just tried to turn off this advertisement that started, and anyway. Um but yeah, I mean I've been seeing just the progress that I've been making um with these paintings, and like it it just showed me that if I apply that to other areas of my life, I'm going to really start to see these benefits a lot faster than I would have expected. Um and it gives me a lot more motivation having seen something actually materialize. Like see a project all the way through and like truly become better at something that I didn't know anything about. Um and this is something I plan on trying to make a video about in the future and releasing it on YouTube, but like probably calling it like how I learned how to paint in 6 months using Pokemon. And I yeah, I'm really excited to just share what I learned, like I definitely took an unorthodox approach. Like I didn't use any sort of guides or anything that, like um like learning like proper anatomy and like figure drawing, and it probably still shows because I don't really know exactly how to articulate what it is that I'm lacking. um but I've talked to a lot of my artist friends, and they all tell me that the best thing for me to keep getting better is to just keep doing it. And like it's they're really, I mean, it's not often that I like to toot my own horn because that's just not the type of person I am. But the painting project is just, yeah, changed my life completely for the better. And yeah, I'm so grateful for that. But yeah, it kind of opened up the doorway for me to start creating stuff and putting it out online for people to see. And that's why I'm here today. We're here playing Platinum Kaizo. Like, heard it tossed around as the hardest Kaizo game. I I don't know if that belief is going to persist. I will admit I don't know too much about the Kaizo games, but I think what makes people say it's the hardest is because no one's beaten it yet. And I think the reason no one's beaten it is just because um thinking about this really quick. Yeah, we might as well get rid of Scratch. Um, just because it's super new, and I think in the coming months, as people start to beat it, like, more and more people will flood through right after that. Um, okay, so I'll get to level 10 right around you get to level 14. When we get to level 14, I want to make sure that we take Braun into that building and see how the cloak um how the cloak change works. I don't want to have to battle um I don't want to have to battle too many um the trainers in the trainer school only have level 1 Pokemon, and I don't want to have to battle them over and over. Just to get Braun up to level, you know, 16. But like if that's what I have to do when I get really close to the level limit, just to make sure that it, like, because I really don't want to have Braun change cloak like at the last moment. So yeah, I don't know. I probably will end up battling the trainers in the trainer school, like, I don't know, a couple of times, just to make perfectly sure that I get the Wormadam that I need. Because, again, otherwise there is no shot of me getting anywhere in this game. And, you know, it's not like this run is super um um super competitive or anything. I mean, really, it's not at all. Having caught that Delibird on Route 201, where you get your starter, you know, this run is invalid, and like I've accepted that. um, but I want to go ahead and play it out because, I mean, for one, I'm having fun with it, but mostly I think it's really important to just get knowledge on the game before, you know, just kind of blindly running at it over and over again. Like, that brute force method, I think, can only get you so far. Um, and, you know, I think, because now I'm thinking, you know, since I said the keyword blind, um, like, I'm not. I think me coming at this game completely blind and someone like Pichal coming at this game completely blind are very, very different things. Um, he knows what he's doing. This is my first ever hardcore rum hack, so yeah. um, um, just in case anyone listening to this is wondering why I said it like that. Um, yeah, I don't think Pichal is doing any brute forcing. I think he's using quite a bit of skill to get as far as he has at this point. Um, and, you know, maybe one day I'll get there, but for now, I am struggling in the early game just to get to Berry 2. And I think in my second attempt it won't be so difficult. I'll probably focus more on grinding my whole team in the earlier levels so I can preserve my rare candies. And yeah. Alright. How much experience do the two of you need to level up? Oh, yeah, we do want to use an antidote. 217 and 100. I saw the poison and I thought that Burmy had Pokerus for a second there. I am doing an Emerald Nuzlocke right now, and I plan on posting that to my channel in the coming, I don't know, month or so. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm heading to a friend's wedding in about 2 weeks, and after that, I I think I'm going to lock in again on the content creation grind. There are a couple video ideas that I have in mind, but one of them, you know, like I just mentioned, one of them I want to do like a how I learned how to paint using Pokemon in 6 months. Um, that one has been like on the back burner for a little while. Like I've been working a little bit on the script, not super intensely, just sort of chugging away at it, writing little bits and pieces. Just I want to give that one like real energy instead of just kind of passively, I think I know this is Seed Bomb, but I think I can at least get the 2-hit knockout. Um, yeah, 2 hits. But yeah, I like when I'm heading to that friend's wedding, I might even take that opportunity to just bang out that script because I'm gonna be traveling for like the better part of a day. I think like if it's more than 12 hours, I think it's like 18 hours. I can't remember exactly how long it's going to take, but it'll be a while, so I won't have much to do except, focus on creating. And I think that'll be a good opportunity to um, focus on making some content for y'all. All right. 174 and 57. Getting closer and closer. It's 9:14. Let's see. We have been going for an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, I mean, at least at this rate, it looks like my guesstimate of 2.5 hours is shaken out to be semi-accurate. Do want to go ahead and oh no, we're just gonna run. We've got to head back and heal up Ron so that we can actually battle these wild Pokemon. All right. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we are still grinding away to be able to fight Barry 2. Yeah, if you tuned into any of the earlier streams, this has been taking quite a while. The stream earlier today was just, starting off. This is still my first attempt at Platinum Kaizo. And, like, not blind, but definitely not super aware of what is going on in the game. There's just a lot that I'm, learning still. Like, for instance, my first death was my Pidgey went down to a Kricketot that used Bide because I didn't realize that Bide is like Metal Burst in this game. So it is a one-turn move. Yeah, in the future I might mute myself for that. I scratch my throat when I do that. If anyone listens to this and like the years to come, oh, careful. I think we're definitely safe to take one hit from anything at this point, even a critical hit, but don't want to take that risk. Yeah, we are about 2 hours in to, well, not quite 2 hours, I think hour and 45 minutes to this grinding session to prepare for Berry 2. And this is really the only grinding session I think we'll have to do this game. Because after this point, we get access to pretty much infinite rare candies. Or so many as to not really matter. To make grinding obsolete anyway. And yeah, I just have to push forward a little bit longer for us to get there. And closer and closer. I mean, Braun is at least level 14 now. I'm wondering... So... They evolve at level 16. What I want to make sure is that when they change cloaks, I'm pretty sure it's like... So, if I take part in one battle in a building, they'll change to a trash cloak. But I think after that, I, would head back to the grass battle, and then they should change back to their grass cloak. This cloak right here. So I think we'll just have to be really careful with how, we choose to evolve this thing. Because, yeah, we just want to make sure that they evolve into the right Wormadam.
You know what's wild? Most people are still overpaying.
No, 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 no. One thing I do appreciate about Spotify is that they seem to not have like multiple ad runs in a row. I'm sure I just, jinxed myself, but from what I've been seeing, that doesn't seem to happen. Oh, we don't need a potion. Okay. Okay, you're level 10. What do you need? Like 500 experience to level up? Oh my goodness, I was joking. Okay, 549 and 494. All right. I mean, I really wish I'd held on to a single rare candy now, so that leveling up Braun would be, like really easy. I could just change them into a trash cloak and then feed him a rare candy, and that would be it. But I did not anticipate this. That's fine, we're making good headway. All right. We're good. It's pretty close for Richie to be able to battle some of these wild Pokemon on their own, but like I've just seen I've seen too many like close calls and like actual losses from these wild Pokemon to like risk losing another Pokemon. And because if we lose Meowth at this point, like the run is like I'd feel less bad about the run being dead because like that, you know, it's Platinum Kaizo, and also this is my first attempt, and like it's already invalid, and like I doubt I'm getting too far into it. I think I might, because I've kind of already surprised myself by getting this far with only 2 deaths. But all that being said, it would frustrate me a lot less having the run die than it would having a Pokemon die that I've spent, you know, like 2 hours grinding at this point. Like, Fancy Feast at least died, like, I think on like the second or third battle of this grinding session. So, you know, there was at least that, like, that sense that it was like, well, you know, at least I didn't put so much time into this. Reggie, on the other hand, it takes forever to level up. Like, yeah, I mean, Happy's at level 13 and they don't require as much level as Richie, as much experience as Richie does at level 10 to level up. So it's just brutal training up this Meowth. And yeah, I don't want to risk it. I kind of want to see like what are we doing here? How does this do? Ooh, that didn't do much of anything. Yeah, you know what? We are gonna go ahead and switch. I thought that would do a lot more. Like, at least close to half, but... Okay. Alright, we've got to remember to head back to the Pokemon Center so that we can heal up Braun. Their, you know, their HP is fine, but their power points are getting a little bit on the low side. And hey, we got 50 Poke at least. Okay, let's bag antidotes. Boom. All right. Just 2.5 more levels. I mean, we're so gosh darn close, but this is taking forever. I think, what, 10, 30 more battles? So... like between 30 and 40 battles, I think. It is nice seeing critical hits only do 10 damage. I've really got to stress that because seeing Braun almost go down to multiple crits and even, you know, seeing what should have taken them out a couple of times at this point was really scary. I think there were 2 or 3 times that we took a hit, and you know, in reviewing the footage, I was like, oh yeah, that we were in crit range. So I mean, just really fortunate that the run didn't go down like that, because that would have, I mean, it just would have really demoralized me. I'm sure I would have gotten back on the saddle pretty quick, but it you know, it didn't happen, so no use sitting on it. But yeah, we are getting ever so closer to finishing up this grinding session. I'm hoping this is a 2-hit knockout. Yeah, perfect. Well, after leech life, maybe not, but you know what? Actually, yeah, we lose this battle. Nope. Oh. I mean, that's fine. I don't like that Amazon is level 15 now, but we can deal with that at least. Okay, gonna head back to heal up bronze power points. Yeah, I was toying around with the idea of taking on Barry 2 today, but I think I'm gonna finish up this grinding session and then focus on making some dinner because I, I it's not. I feel like I just ate, but that was 4 hours ago. I didn't realize that time has kind of flown by. Like part of it is that I'm not really that hungry. It's just, I know I need to eat. Um because yeah, I have not really eaten today. Um but yeah, I think in the next 30 minutes or so, let's see. What would that put us at? Oh yeah, 2.5 hours, pretty much on the dot. Yeah, by in the next 30 minutes, I need to tear myself away, regardless of where we end up. But I'm pretty sure by then we should be done. And, if I end up having to go over by like, I don't know, 5 minutes, I'll call that fine. I'll keep going. But, even 10 minutes, I think I gotta call it there and just finish it off at the start of next session, which will probably be tomorrow. I think I'll probably get started right after my morning walk tomorrow. And then split it up between my 3 walks. Yeah, no, let's do this. Okay, so we got to make sure that we test out the trash cloak switch shenanigans before we get to level 15. So I want to start being mindful of how much experience we need to level up. 135. Okay, so I think after this battle, I want to test that out. Yeah, because that'll... Yeah, that'll take us down to like 90. And then that battle should get us, I don't know, maybe like 70 or 80. And then the next battle we should be Sandcloak. So okay, so we're down at 88 right now. Go ahead and test this out. There's a Vulpix, and then there's something else. Can't remember what though, but I'm pretty sure you have the Vulpix. I can't remember what you have. Something that has Pulse Swipe and Super Fang. But maybe you actually have the Vulpix. Yeah, that's fine though. What is nature power here? Try attack. Okay, perfect. I mean, this should make us Crash Cloak. You give me something? Oh. Okay, yeah, so we're Trash Cloak now. Okay, but I'm pretty sure... Okay, and that gave me 13 experience. How about you? I'm pretty sure it's about the same level of experience regardless, but I just want to test it out. Okay, do you give me... Oh, you have rough skin. Okay. 19. Okay. Honestly, 19 experience, like, that's only half of what we've been averaging, so once we get close to getting to level 16, I'll just come back here and just grind with Brawn against these trainers a little bit. Yeah, I don't have any issues with that. All right. We forgot to switch. But, you know, this is a good way to test. I bet that just entering this battle and even running is enough for the cloak to switch. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, just entering a battle is all it takes.
Whipped cream, hairspray, got aerosol can.
Gotta be careful. And yeah, so that's why we're just gonna make sure we level up against those trainer school trainers once we're getting close to evolving, because we've got to make sure that we get the Trash Cloak Wormadam at level 16. Special defense fell. Nope, we are not playing that game. Not even a little bit. I will go ahead and switch in Amazon. Maybe I should run. Yeah, just to play it safe, I'm gonna go ahead and run. Turn the music back on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Bellsprout, man, they are a pain to deal with. Do I want to... No, you can't. I keep thinking that Richie can, like, do something, but I just have to remember that they are very weak. You know, their main utility is that they have limber, so they can't be paralyzed, which is super nice. Eh. All right, how much are we looking at now? 93 and 6. That's 93 to get to level 11, right? Yeah. It's 12 and 13 after that. Oh, probably 1200 experience, getting 40 at a time. Yeah, it's still like 30, 30 more battles. I don't know. I'd like to think I'd be able to finish this off before needing to call it for the night, but I'm not sure I can actually. Oh boy, camouflage. Okay, that's a really good move. $31. Okay. 65. Hmm. Do I even want to play this game? I will, because we just leveled up. We're so much higher level than this thing. It shouldn't pose as much of an issue as it can, but oh yeah, we love to see that. Get out here, Bellsprout. Okay, level 11. How much do you need to get up to level 12? 649. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're at 611 with Braun. You gotta be really careful now. So I'll start counting. We'll see if I can keep it, you know, keep track. It's a fun game I like to play. It's more fun when you're at the higher levels and you're having to use, like, you know, triple or quadruple digit numbers, but you know, it's something to help pass the time. All right. 549. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty burnt out. I didn't realize how taxing this was going to be, just grinding. Okay, 4.99. Yeah, usually I feel like grinding isn't so, I don't know, like mind numbing for me. But I guess like in the Emerald Nuzlocke that I've been doing, I usually like throw something on YouTube, so I've got something to entertain me while I'm just, mashing A for a couple hours. Um, but yeah, like trying to provide commentary while grinding is it's a bit of a beast. Yeah, being able to use rare candies like as much as you want is like even at this stage of the game. Yeah, I I definitely prefer that even without having done it. Okay, for 445. Or so close. I can almost taste it. Oh man. Yeah, so tomorrow I've got some pretty fun stuff going on. Let's see. I've got a meeting with like an academic advisor. I'm hoping to like get back to school. I've got my bachelor's already. I got that a couple of years ago at this point. And you know, I graduated during COVID, so things were just so in flux, and like I was convinced that I like had my life planned out. Um, I thought I knew exactly what I was going to do for work, and also I completely missed what experience that Badu gave. 48, 49 was it? 43. Um, okay, so 402. Um, but yeah, I was just convinced that I was gonna like, start teaching abroad and, go out and see the world. And then I tried my hand at that and it was not what I thought it would be. So you know, I ended up moving away from like my hometown, and I picked up a job that I, you know, loved at first. And, you know, you end up growing as a person and like realizing that some things that you thought you'd be able to do for years and years and years, you actually don't really want to do at all. And then, you know, the, these awkward growth phases in life are just kind of tricky to navigate sometimes. And, I'm in the middle of one of those right now, and I missed it again. Okay, we're at 402. Now we're at. Come on. 352. But yeah, I sort of lost track of what it was I was trying to say. But yeah, I've just been trying to put some energy toward not having to be at this job that I'm currently at anymore. I would really like to give my energy to something I actually care about and I think would be good for me. And, school was kind of always that for me, so heading back and working on like a master's program, I think is going to be really good for me. Like maybe meet some new people, and just, you know, kind of challenge myself a bit intellectually. Um, like yeah, I went with an English degree when I took my bachelor's, and you know, looking back, I feel like I took the easy way out. I just, I wish I'd done something different. Um, and so, you know, I'm looking at this opportunity to pursue higher education is, you know, like my chance to do that. To, you know, do something that I want to do and I think I'd be good at, and yeah, just to feel better about myself and give myself an opportunity to do um I don't know, work that I think would be more fulfilling and make me happier. Okay, we're at 309. I am going to start looking at the actual experience bar just to make sure we're not creeping up, you know, just in case I lost count somewhere along the way, you know, just with my rambling. Oh, yeah, will go ahead and run here. You know, you can only juggle so many things, trying to do math and talk about your life, and, you know, somewhere along the way, the PowerPoints go missing. But, you know, I think we are, we're pretty darn close to that time. Once the in-game clock hits 22 hours, yeah, 10 o'clock, I will probably call it there. But we're so close. Like, I know that Braun is going to level up in time, but I don't know if the same can be said for Richie. And, you know, the poor cat, like, they it's not their fault that they can't do much. There's just not really good grinding spots at this point of the game, which is strange. Like, you know, you've got, like, I feel like you could have, I don't know, made like a patch of Happini that, you know, would just allow the trainer to just grind up really quickly. But, you know, I'd say the game is pretty fun, but like it's kind of too soon for me to speak on that in any like meaningful capacity. Like, you know, we haven't even gotten a single gym badge yet. I've only been playing for a total of like, I don't know, 6 hours. Um, well, not even that, because it took about an hour just to get the stream set up. Um,
See more of Seattle for less. Book a Space Needle ticket at least one day ahead and save up to $20 per person.
let's turn that off. I think we're at 260. Yeah, getting to the point where we really got to pay attention just to make sure, because again, we only get one shot at letting Braun evolve the right way. At least, you know, in with the constraints that we have. Because our level limit is 16, and that's when they evolve. Okay, 260. Now we're at 198. Okay, so I think we can get away with 2 more battles. Maybe 3. Kind of lock in at this point, just to make sure I'm not losing track. I think that's the first time I've seen a Shroomish use takedown in this game. But let's see, that will bring us down to 159, 157. And you know, my water is also empty now too, so it's just, you know, all signs are pointing that it's time to go ahead and call it a day there. You know, I could always push through further, but you know, at that point, am I really having fun or am I just trying to make a point? All right, 157, and now we are down to, what will it be? I think it'll be just above 100. Yeah, 107. Let's go ahead and confirm that really quick. Did I keep proper track? 66. Okay, I'm glad I checked. Yeah, I guess I missed one battle somewhere in there, but there are a number of Pokemon that I can safely, you know, I don't know about Seedot actually, but you know, that Sandshrew gives us, what was it? 19 experience. So we'll level up after battling that Sandshrew um 4 times. So let's go ahead and move Braun up to the front and get this out of the way. And I'm thinking about it, like, if since at this point we should be able to train um you know, uh Richie on their own. I think that this last level should go pretty darn quick. Okay. There's one. Yeah, I think we will go ahead and finish off this grinding session because, you know, we're so close. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that we can finish by like 10:05 because I mean we're so close to that, but I don't know. We shall see. That's 3 and one more time. All right. Oh, this is so nice to see. I know it hasn't even started to happen yet, but here we are. Oh, okay. Braun is now level 16, and that means they are evolving into Wormadam. Yes, you are. Not even going to touch any of the buttons because I want to make sure I don't accidentally misclick, because that would be terrible. All right. We learned any moves on evolving? No, that's fine though. Um, yeah. Oh man, let's check you out. Quirky. Oh yeah, great defenses. Oh yeah, these are awesome. Awesome stats. Yeah, unfortunately you um don't have protect yet. But that's fine. Like, we're gonna go ahead and switch Richie up to the front. Let's see, how can you how will you fare against these grass types on your own? Because we should be able to level up in um like 10 battles at this right now. We're gonna go ahead and go for bite. Because that can flinch at least. And like hopefully this does more than that. I mean, come on. What is up with this Meowth? I don't get it. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, well, I don't even know who to switch to. I, uh, I guess we just run and we've got to go back to an earlier route. Because, yeah, Richie can't do anything here. That's frustrating. Um, yeah, I mean, I know at least on this next or previous route, Richie can handle everything there. It'll just take longer. You know, as long as the Pokemon are giving more than 40 experience, like, it'll go faster than the previous training was, but it's, you know, not going to be quite as fast as it would be if Richie could handle these grass types. It would be less difficult if they didn't use, like, Absorb and Mega Drain, because, you know, they're actively healing themselves as the battle's going on, and Richie just isn't able to generate enough damage to, you know, meaningfully deal with that. I saw how much money we picked up there, but I didn't catch how much experience we got. Yeah, like 41. So I mean, pretty much the exact rate we were just going at, but you know, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. Like here at least we don't have to switch in other Pokemon that like we don't want to gain experience. But it's still frustrating having Richie progress so much slower than the rest of the team. Okay, It's probably going to take me until 10:10 anyway, but I want to finish this off so I can jump on fresh tomorrow and, you know, get some stuff done. Like I'm excited. This is fun. And I'll be coming on like super fresh tomorrow. Like, yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Not that today was a bad day, just you know, grinding just takes a lot out of you. But more so providing commentary while grinding, it's just it's a tool. Like a skill, I think is what I meant to say there. I'm tired. I'm bare bones at this point. You know. Thank y'all for bearing with me. 761. All right. 41 experience. Something I completely forgot to do. Turn off battle animations. All right. Yep. That, I can't believe I went 2 hours without realizing that I had battle animations on. But you still do the little dance when you come into battle? Okay, I mean, I guess it's not a huge deal relative to, you know, the move animations, but anyway. We're almost there. Almost there. $23, yeah. Just gotta be careful, because I think even these level 5 Pokemon could... Yeah, that was... and you know, you probably get quick attack. Yeah, I'm switching to Mikey. Okay, you're using Follow Me, so we were probably... But you did have quick attack. Okay. I will not be... Vindication. Okay, no, we want to use a potion. And the 31 is fine. Yeah, I wish I'd remembered about the animations a little bit earlier. Like, even if I only remembered like halfway through the grinding session, it would have been so much better. But like at the same time, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I probably would have ended up pushing myself to like battle Barry and try to push on through to Orberg, and you know, like as evidenced by losing Glammeow just in the very beginning of the grinding session, it probably wouldn't have gone as well as I'd like to think it would. And I think entering with like a fresh mindset tomorrow, you know, going out, going for a walk, fresh rested after a good night's sleep, it'll be better tomorrow morning. Ooh, okay. You definitely don't get quick attack though, so I'm not afraid to take that risk. And that puts us in potion range. Alright, how close are you? Are you... what, like 540? 580. like 15 more battles, 12 to 15. We have to go heal power points. But yeah, I think if we use up all the paydays that we have after healing up this next time, that should about do it. Okay, that did 8 damage. I can't risk a quick attack crit. It's just I know it sounds ridiculous, but it can happen. And I would just, I don't know what I'd do with myself if I lost my Meowth at the end of a 2.5 hour grinding session. Almost 3 hours at this point. Yeah, I mean, we're, what, 20 minutes away from hitting 3 hours? Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Oh, we forgot to heal. I think that's fine. Bidoof haven't... Yeah, we're fine. And that's like 480 now. Like 10 more battles. I keep saying like 10 more, but I think I mean it this time. Just 10 more battles. It should be like 5 minutes. Maybe more like 7. Just because we have to go back to heal our power points, but okay. 440. And, you know, I think splitting it up, going to Battleberry tomorrow, like, if I do end up having to do even more grinding once we, like, look at the calc and see, like, oh, actually, this Pokemon needs just a little bit more defense or attack to pick up a knockout. You know, I'll have, like, restored... a restored sense to like really take on a grinding session. You know, I'll use a potion instead of going back to heal because I don't quite need to yet. I guess we could try to fight. I don't think I want to do that actually, just because this is a Sentret and they've been scarier than I would like. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of damage for something like almost a third of our level. You know, the crit didn't matter there, Richie, but all right. Oh yeah, I'll probably go ahead and start up the intro a little, or outro, a little sooner than feels necessary. Not quite yet, I just want to start ramping up to it because I was thinking that I would just be like, Okay, and that's it. Have a good night. Stay hydrated. See y'all later. But no, I don't like doing that. I like to, just in case anyone ends up watching this later on, you still get that patented Dunsparce charm. you know, you want to make sure y'all stay hydrated, make sure you had a good time watching, I mean, like if you stuck around to watch this grinding session, like, first of all, you're a trooper. I say that sometimes in my episodes because, like, like in the Emerald Nuzlocke, the first 10 episodes, the audio was just atrocious. I had the mix all, it was just all wrong, and the reason I didn't have it, the reason I didn't catch it earlier on is because I was just like so excited to play Emerald. So I was recording back to back to back sessions. Um and I thought that I had tested the audio after episode 1, and I I don't know if I just like listened to the first like 30 seconds or like 3 minutes or something and decided, that's good enough, or if I listened to the whole thing and just decided, what, it's not perfect, but it's serviceable. I can't remember exactly where I landed, but there were moments where the audio just like cut out halfway through my sentence. Like, if you know anything about OBS, like there's my noise gate was just like the levels were off. If you don't know anything about OBS, that's just like the so I'm not I'm not like knowledgeable about audio tech, but as far as I understand, that's like the minimum required volume you need to speak at in order for the microphone to pick it up. But at least the problems that I was encountering, you also have like a maximum noise gate, I think, where it will like actively suppress too loud noises. I don't know if that actually works because, I didn't really test that. No, I'm fine. I can take a critical hit quick attack at 16 HP, and if I can't, that's whatever. I probably shouldn't have risked that. Yeah, looking back, that was actually kind of silly, but I have seen crazy things happen on this run, and I don't want that to happen again. But yeah, that's once those episodes of the Emerald Nuzlocke come out, maybe you've already seen those if you're watching these. I don't know. But those first 10 episodes, I mean, they're a slog for me to listen to, and I guess it's different considering that's my own voice, and I think most people don't like listening to themselves talk. I think that's a fair thing to say. But um um oh man. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, anyway, we're reaching the end of this grinding session. I think it's like 2 or 3 battle, no, a little bit more than that. 5 maybe. Oh, we were in crit range there. That is really, really annoying. I genuinely can't believe that. Oh man, it's not often that I like just full on rage, but that would have been like a, oh man. I I don't know. I don't know if I would have. I don't know what I would have done there, honestly. I probably would have kept my cool, at least for the recording, but afterwards, I think I probably would have been out on a walk for like a couple hours. Like I might even not grab dinner, um, if that had happened, but it didn't. That's neither here nor there. Okay, 157. We're 4 more battles. We got this. We got this in the bag. All right. I mean, these things are dangerous. They're like a third of our level practically. And they're able to do what, 80% before 75% on a crit. And that would do, I mean, yeah, a crit almost takes us out right here. A crit secret power. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know if like the wild Pokemon are ramped up in power or something, or if this Meowth is just kind of dog water, but like, that's either way, it's concerning. Okay. Battle 2. So, yeah, I mentioned earlier I'd been walking around a lot more. I picked up like pescatarianism. I have done diets in the past, like mostly vegan. I was vegan for a couple years. But then I just stopped when I moved because I had some friends up here and they were like, "Hey, you should like try food that's not vegan." And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Yes." And I was like, "Okay." Uh um yeah, so goes to show how committed I was to that. I was vegan for several years. But like I got the benefits out of it that I wanted, and like that I felt like I needed. Um but I wish I'd stuck with it. But now we're back on a diet. We're sticking to pescatarianism this time. But on top of that, we added intermittent fasting. So my eating window is typically from like 2:30 to 10:30, but I didn't eat until like 5:30 today, so I'm letting myself, just because I really need, well, not need, I don't need to finish this grinding session, but oh, I really want to at this point, and we're one battle away. So, this is it. Finally done, and it's a Sentret, go figure. But this will do it. I'm gonna churn animations back on. Churn animations back on. Oh man. All right. Great. Level 13. Boom. Okay. Gonna head up here, heal up, turn animations back on, save, reload the ROM, and get the calculator ready so that I can just start cooking first thing tomorrow morning. I don't want to do any of that tonight. I'm so wiped out. It ended up taking almost a full half hour longer than I thought it would. But I'll go ahead and let's see. Yeah, I mean, you would naturally be at the back. 13, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and save here. Reload the ROM. Or reset it, whatever. So that we can import all this data to the calc. That's short for calculator if you're just tuning in. And yeah, tomorrow, probably around like 10, I will get us started on cooking for Berry 2. And I think that battle is going to be pretty trivialized now that we've got this team all trained up. But yeah, you're... Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, Spotify had to leave us off with one more one more ad. But what we can do now is head over to the calculator. Not here. Let's open up this window. Okay. And I will upload my save. Try to anyway. Yeah, there we go. Is that actually my team? I haven't really had a chance to look at the full team for so I've been training like these isolated Pokemon. Delibird, Turtwig, Rickatoon. Yeah, and Wormadam, Meowth, and Psyduck. Yeah, I mean, this is just not the type of team that I would normally praise. But you know, this is what we've got. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, but I am gonna go ahead and wait to do any cooking for this Berry 2 fight until tomorrow, because I'm so wiped out. And I mean, how long have we been grinding at this point? Oh no. Get out of here. Yeah, I mean, we've been grinding for just a hair shy of 3 hours. 2 hours and 54 minutes, 35 seconds. All right. I am calling it there for today. If you tuned in at all, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support. We're just getting started. This is my first attempt, day 1 of Plat Kaizo attempts. Having a lot of fun so far. I'm really glad that all the grinding for this game is practically over. I'm pretty sure you get enough rare candies in Orberg to make grinding the thing of the past. But yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, we've got 3 Pokemon at level 13. I think that should be enough space to not have to worry about any over leveling. You know, the only Pokemon that really has to worry about it is our Wormadam. But yeah, that is going to go ahead and do it for this grinding installment of Dunsparce 1242's Platinum Kaizo Hardcore Nuzlocke. Ugh, that's a mouthful, but better than last time at least. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, stay hydrated, y'all. And remember, gotta catch 'em all.